Welcome to the Literally First Class podcast, where I will teach you how to overcome anxiety and achieve somatic success. I'm your host, Keri Ford. I'm a somatic success and holistic life coach here to bring humor, insight, and wisdom to the modern day woman that wants to feel alive in her daily life. You ready? Come on, I saved you a seat in first class. Something that's been coming up for me a lot lately is this concept of we need to slow down so that we can speed up. So we go slow to then go fast. And I'm having this conversation with you around results that I share and around the expected time that healing can potentially take. So a few things. Healing is not all rainbows and kittens and a stroll in the fucking park. It's not. There is grief. There is an unfolding. Awareness of our patterns can be deeply upsetting potentially once we're like, oh gosh, like, you know, that Taylor Swift song is coming up in my head where it's like, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. That one. So suddenly we realize we're in our own way and we have awareness around that. And you're like, oh, great. Now I have some things to rework, renegotiate, right? And so that can be really off-putting as well. And then there's the learning how to do it a different way. And all of that takes time. And grief can be very sad. It can be very unmotivating. There is, that cycle of healing where if you're doing this work, that grief is likely something you're going to experience, especially as you're letting go of patterns and beliefs that never really were you, but you had an identity that was attached to those things. So in some ways, it does feel like you are dying. And that can be some of the most challenging, painful, heartbreaking, but in a beautiful way, work. And so with this kind of work, personal development, transformation, somatics, we go slow to go fast. And we only go ever at the pace of your nervous system. And everyone's nervous system is different. Everyone has a unique nervous system. Everyone has a unique window of tolerance and therefore capacity, like what they can hold, what sends their nervous system into potential overwhelm, which obviously we don't want to do. And it's all very custom and unique. So we have to go slow. We have to go carefully. We have to go lovingly at the pace of your nervous system. That's always, always the ultimate nervous system strategy, to go at the pace of your nervous system, right? You can verbally say yes, but if your body's saying no, we have to listen to that because it's not in sync. And, I think what I'm going to start doing is sharing a disclaimer on some of my posts, because when I share results, you see some big, crazy results. First of all, they're not always typical, because I don't really work with typical women. I work with women that are like unicorns in their industry. They do big, crazy things. They likely have a high risk tolerance already. And so they are creating big, crazy results in the world already. And then they get their hands on this kind of work and they just explode. They expand and they get epic, amazing results. Now, they're also not new to personal development and growth. So by the time that they are working with me, they likely have a baseline and some of the language, maybe not necessarily the language of the nervous system and the body, but they have some language around personal development and growth mindset already. So that also is what makes them a little bit of the not typical client, and therefore they create some not typical results. Now, I have seen women come into my world that have not had any baseline of personal development, and they were like, I'm ready, let's do this. And I trust them and their, discretion. And we jump in and we go at the pace of their nervous system, and they have experienced some crazy, fast and unrealistic results as well. But it doesn't mean that the work behind the scenes is fast. It means that we have gone slow so that they can experience these windfalls of success in whatever way they're defining it. And you'll see me share results mostly around abundance, making more money, but on an internal, happiness level, they're feeling more connected to themselves, they're feeling more peaceful, they're feeling more fulfilled, and honestly, that trumps any monetary gains in my opinion, because if I can teach them how to connect and listen to themselves first within, like, we're winning all day. So the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I think that there is a kind of a misalignment or a perception that healing can be done and you can be, completely free of a pattern in like a 1-hour workshop. Now, do I think that you can experience wild breakthroughs and light bulb aha moments in a 1-hour workshop with me? Yup, totally. Like, that's a very realistic expectation. Do I think that you can suddenly have an expanded level of awareness where you see all of the light bulbs going off in your reality, where you're like, oh my gosh, like, it's not just exclusive to business. It's like here and here. And oh my gosh, this is a pattern and I'm recognizing it beyond the 1-hour workshop that we would do together. Yeah, absolutely. That's another very realistic expectation. But are you going to have a 100K windfall after an hour of time together as a result of that workshop? Probably not. And honestly, if you did, maybe it was the cherry on top, but also we have to take in mind and we have to take inventory on what it is that you have done leading up to that workshop too. Did you and I work together exclusively on top of that workshop? And I said one thing in that workshop that suddenly, was the cherry on top of the whole year of us working together previously. Did you attend a retreat and we've been doing one-on-one? Like, what other context do we have? Did you have another baseline of personal development and coaching that you had done prior to us working together? We just have to take those things in account. And so just be mindful of that when I share results. And I'm not sharing this in a space of getting any type of backlash, comments, people questioning results. Like, all the results I've shared have been like incredible. I think there was only one time I shared a result and I had a client message me and she was like, hey, is that me that you shared that about? Because it was actually like X, Y, and Z in the month and it wasn't blah, blah, blah. And I took a screenshot of our chat and I was like, oh, I think I'm confused. But I was like, I'll edit it, no problem. Because I always want to be in integrity. So all the results I've shared have been accurate. However, we've got to take into account the work that has happened leading up to those results. So you're seeing the windfalls, but what happened leading up to those windfalls? So we can change things fast. We can create awareness fast. But healing, true, lasting, permanent change does take time. It is a process. I've been doing this work for 5 years on myself, and with support and mentorship and guidance and coaching. And it does get easier, I will tell you. The more resiliency I have built up, the more I've increased my somatic capacity to handle more of the bigger emotions. And also my ability to recognize I have been here within myself, especially when I am at the edges of grief and I'm actively rewiring things. That kind of work is actually quite exhausting. You might literally feel more tired. You might actually be experiencing some releasing symptoms such as migraines, headaches, again, being extremely tired, needing more sleep, getting extra water, because it's sort of like when you get a massage and you unlock all of these toxins that you need to flush out. It's very similar to that, except what we're working with is the nervous system and emotional somatic capacity. So that being said, just be mindful when I share results and again, I'm probably going to add a disclaimer here, or when there are claims around, transcending stress faster. Can we transcend stress faster than we already were? Yeah. And it also depends on what our baseline of work has already been, because this is likely just a piece of the puzzle that is part of your journey leading up to this, or part of the journey that we are about to step into that will create those windfalls of success. So we go slow to go fast, and that is the work. I wish it was much more glamorous than noticing feelings and being with what is before we actually experience any change and transformation. But that is the truth. That is the truth about this kind of work, is that it does take time. It does take self-love, and it does take courage to continue to choose it and practice it and learn it over and over again. So when you see those unrealistic results, know that it does come from a place of likely having some other additional touch points with me, or they have had some other baseline of coaching that they've received. So we go slow to go fast. And that is the beauty, the absolute beauty of this work. I'll see you next time on an episode of Literally First Class. All right, see ya. I hope you enjoyed your flight, and I'll see you on board again soon. Seriously though, thanks for listening. If you're ready to take this work deeper and upgrade your mind, I want to invite you to join us inside my Millionaire Mindset program. This is where you'll start using my guided meditations to help you overcome anxiety and experience even more abundance. When you join, you'll have access to my entire audio library. Head over to elevatewithkeri.com and we'll see you inside.